Hello and welcome. Dr. Nancy Beliveau here with Holistic Wholeness Institute. We're about to get started. I launched this just a couple minutes early so I can welcome some of you guys as you're getting started. Let us know as we're waiting for people to join over the next 5 minutes, what brought you here? Tell me in the chat. Is it you want help with hormones, an autoimmune condition, brain fog, belly fat, forgetfulness, joint pain? What's going on? The more I know about you, the more I can weave that into tonight's webinar so that you can get the most out of this. So I'm going to pull up the chat, make sure I can see that. Now there's a public and private chat. And I want to tell you that because if you see me responding to someone that you don't notice, it could be that I'm responding in the private chat. As you guys are here, go ahead and start posting into the chat. What did you want me to make sure I go over tonight in the webinar? I have a whole agenda, but I'm here for you. Okay, so I see there's a couple of you that have joined us so far and you're on, which is great. Let us know in that chat what brought you here tonight, okay? A little background about me as we're about to join and start. Like many of you, I used to wake up tired. Brain fog, forgetfulness, weight gain, terrible periods, had undiagnosed endometriosis and PCOS, and doctors just kept giving me medications. Does this sound familiar? And I just kept feeling worse. I was not getting better. And ultimately, it was me getting diagnosed with cancer and an autoimmune condition that doctors started to pay attention to me. And that's when I hit my last straw. And that's when I turned to functional and holistic medicine practitioners. And they really helped me the way that we help people every day. And I wanted to be that kind of doctor. And I want you to know, they told me the cancer is going to come back, all these things, but that's why I'm here. Been cancer-free, healthy, no autoimmune issues. And I want you to know that we see things like this every day. Okay, great. So I see a lot of people in the chat now. I see Virginia. She said, I'm a Cancer. You beat its butt. Great job, Virginia. 3 weeks last surgery, putting it in the rear view, ready to be my best self. Oh, I love this. With this new chance I have been given, I'm ready to do the work. I love that. We work with a lot of people after cancer. See here also, see if I can scan up in the chat. There's so many responses, it's hard to go up. Always tired. I'm seeing here as well, always tired. Oh, we see the private chat. We've got a couple things here. Okay, I won't say the name just because they put it in the private chat, but we see postmenopausal belly fat. Anyone else dealing with that? I see other people here in the public chat saying always tired. Random ligament tears, arthritis everywhere, hypothyroid. Let me know in the chat if you're feeling any of those things as well. Okay, Brenda put in the public chat, in the private chat here, we have a bunch of things coming. We see Brenda, we see Barbara, hair loss. Yes, you're feeling those things. Okay, we see also in the chat, we got gallstones. They're trying to remove my gallbladder. Yes, that's actually very relevant to hormone issues. When estrogen changes, it can actually disrupt the gallbladder and then they just take it out, but they never actually find and fix the hormone problem. And then other dominoes start to fall. Okay, we're going to start in 1 minute. A lot of you that are just joining us are telling me in the chat what brought you here today, whether you're in the private or the public chat. If you see me answering someone and you're like, I don't see their name in the public chat, it's because they're in the private chat. I'm answering that. Tell me what brings you here, because the more I know about you, the more I can weave that into tonight's webinar for you, because I'm here for you. Okay. Belly fat sucks. Yes. We see Brenda and Virginia, Kaya, Sanquetta. We've got stomach problems, such as bacteria. Okay. PCOS. Anyone else with stomach problems or PCOS? Hair loss, cystic acne. We've got colitis. Okay, we'll make sure we weave that in. Gallstones, we see a couple more people. Great. We have a couple more people that just joined us. Let us know in the chat what brought you here. What did you want me to weave into this webinar for you tonight so I can focus on serving you the best I can? Okay. As we're about to get started, those of you that just joined, I know what it's like to be bloated. I've been asked if I was pregnant when I had gut issues 20 years ago before I became a holistic doctor. And before I became a functional doctor, people would ask me if I was pregnant. Anyone have that? You feel like you look pregnant, but you're not because you're just bloated all the time? That was me. Okay, we got belly fat, colitis. Yes, Virginia says. Okay, we see more of that. Yeah, so embarrassing. Okay, any other cancer survivors here? We have a couple people that have mentioned hormone issues linked to cancer. Kaya as well says, that's me. I'm a little thing and I look 6 months pregnant. Cinquetta said inflammation. Okay, Anna's saying digestive issues, experience gripping stomach after certain meals and belly fat. Yeah, that is not normal. Okay, all right, so we're at time. We're gonna get started. And as you guys are joining, I see more people are joining us now. You can let us know what brought you here so I can weave that into this webinar. Okay, now you will see my team member helping me to keep up with the chat during this webinar where they're helping to answer, because I'm going to answer as many of you as I can as I see them. Sometimes I may miss something, and I want you to know, I promise I'm not trying to miss it. I'm trying to get to all the things in the chat, but I may miss something and I don't mean anything by it. That's why my team member will be here to help. Okay, let's dive in. I'm Dr. Nancy Beliveau. We're going to be talking about the holistic hormone reset, a way to reset your hormones naturally. And even if it's not hormonal, how this approach can really help get to the root cause of whatever health problem you're dealing with and reset it naturally so that you can really feel like you're getting to the root cause of the problem, not just masking the symptoms with medication. Let's dive in. Okay. I ask you, I'm here for you to make sure that you eliminate distractions. So now's a good time to silence your phone. If you have the TV on, you're cooking dinner, I'm here for you. Okay, we're going to be together for up to the next hour. Let's dive in. All right, I'm going to start sharing my screen. So we want to go over a way, how do we get to the bottom of things and use what's called a functional medicine approach? Let me know in the chat if you've heard of that before. Who's heard of functional medicine? Okay, where we get to the root cause instead of masking the symptoms. So Lillian's saying yes. Okay, we have Judith and Marcia that just joined us. Belly fat, parathyroid adenoma, gastro problems. Judith is saying belly fat, bladder prolapse, bowel prolapse. All of that's actually linked to hormones that affect your connective tissue, Judith. They make it more lax, less, it's like a cheaper connective tissue, and linked to gut issues. And then a lot of things, you just feel like you're falling apart. Just everything's hanging loose. Okay. Bonnie has not heard of functional medicine before. So we're going to go over that today. That's where, Bonnie, instead of us just throwing medication at symptoms to mask the symptom, we're going to actually find what's causing the problem and then fix that naturally. Okay. You can reset hormones, Michelle, even if you've had a full hysterectomy. I literally just got off of a session with someone who had a hysterectomy and were resetting her hormones. We are made very fearfully and wonderfully made by our creator with backup systems. So the adrenals, adipocytes, liver, there's actually the gut that manipulates estrogen, other places we can use to actually still help holistically fix those hormones. Yes. Great. So a lot of people that come to us feel like some of you, that they're frustrated just taking a pill for every ill. They want to get to the bottom of it so they can live their best life, not only now, but naturally, fully, and forever. Not that you'll never have a health issue, but that you're really going to see lasting results, not a short-term fix. Okay? We want to talk about your new life, stress, hormones, health, the root cause of belly fat, bloating, colitis, the gallbladder we start talking about, the prolapses, the thyroid, all these things are connected. And we're going to make sure that we talk about how to get freedom from these health issues. So you don't feel like a prisoner to your own body. You feel like you can make choices and you're in control, not your body determines what you do, who you do it with, and how much you can do. Okay. This is about you. So people ask, well, why am I here? Why am I doing a free webinar? What's the catch? There's no catch. This is completely free. We will allow you, if you want, to book a free 15-minute consult with our team at the end of this webinar if you feel like you want us to have some private time with you to discuss your case for free. This free webinar, that free consult can lead to, if you would like, and if we feel we can help, to an evaluation with one of our providers that's an hour long, and it's only $87. It's usually $287, but tonight we take $200 off so that you can have that offer after the free webinar. You can book a free 15-minute consult over the next day or two, and then we can decide if we feel like we can help set you up for that evaluation. Okay. Gloria was skeptical. If you're skeptical, that's normal. Gloria was. She's tried everything. Let me know in the chat. Have you tried diets? Did you do GLP, Ozempic, Mounjaro? Tell me what you did in the chat. You feel like you tried everything. You worked out twice a day. This was Gloria. Okay. Tell me in the chat if you feel like you've tried everything, but you cannot lose weight. Okay. Cinquetta said yes. Okay, Marsha said, when I went through menopause at 47, I researched hot flashes and took black cohosh and eating whole foods, plant-based, no oil, sugar, salt. Doing some decent stuff, Marsha. Okay. Stacey said, yes, this was Gloria. And Gloria's like, I'm a curvy Latina. I don't want to look like I'm starving. And I want to be a curvy Latina, but I now have joint issues. I'm starting to get pre-diabetic, pre-hypertension, pre-hypercholesteremia, which is high cholesterol. And I want to walk down the aisle at my daughter's wedding. And right now I'm walking like as if I'm like a cripple, like a leper, like with a cane. Like I don't want to look old. And I feel old. Tell me if in the chat you feel old. Some of you mentioned arthritis, joint pain, fatigue, no energy. This was Gloria. And she said it all happened after menopause and after my hysterectomy. She had PCOS most of her life, but no one did anything but give her birth control. Let me know if that's you. We saw some people here with PCOS. They just give you birth control and diabetic drugs. That's what they did with her. And she still had the issues. We worked with her. We were able to help her lose about 30 pounds. So as you can see here, she's still curvy. She's not skinny. And some people we work with have always been on the thinner side. They want to get back to that. That's fine. But she was not. She lost 30 pounds. Her knees didn't hurt anymore. She felt better. Didn't have the hot flashes, could sleep through the night, and actually had a libido, which was important to her and her husband that were retired. The best part is not only that she could walk down the aisle without hobbling, because your hormones affect your joints, believe it or not. In case you didn't know that, when your hormones are off, it makes your joints very stiff. She can get off the ground with her grandkids, which is most important to her. Okay, so it's normal to feel skeptical, but that's normal. But what if it does work? That could be cool. I see more of you that joined us. As you're joining us, people have put in the chat what health condition they want me to weave into tonight's webinar. And that's why you may hear me noticing and recognizing people in the chat. So put that in the chat, what brought you here, or what you want me to focus on, because I'm here for you. We started with in-person wellness centers in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey area. We moved to telehealth in the pandemic, and now we work completely over Zoom. So if you have your phone or computer and you're working with us just through this webinar, we can work with you. Lab work is done in the comfort of your home, and visits are done in the comfort of your home, and we can work with you wherever you are. Part of why I do what I do is because my hormone issues, my PCOS, my endometriosis, led to cancer. My grandfather actually had an enlarged prostate. So a lot of times we attract a lot of women because we say the word hormones and people think only women have hormones. Men have hormones too. So if you're a guy, I can't see everyone on the chat. We just had another 30 or 40 people join us. If you're a guy or you're married to a guy, and you could be married to or with whoever you want. You could be whoever and whatever you want, guy or gal. But let me know in the chat if you're a dude or if you're living with or married to a guy. The prostate actually is very similar to the breast and the female reproductive organs, where it can get enlarged and women can get cysts, whether it's PCOS or dense breast, very similar. Okay. And this is something that happened. He had an enlarged prostate, my grandfather, and then it developed into cancer. And this is something that people don't realize is linked to hormones, and they just think, oh, it's just normal. You get up in the middle of the night to go. So let me know in the chat if you've had cancer. We have one person here that's had cancer so far. Anyone else have cancer? Tell me in the chat, because people talk about the achiness, the gallbladder, the PCOS, the weight gain, the cystic acne, the chin hairs, the thinning hair on the head, the fatigue, the brain fog, the weight gain. They're not talking about the cancers. People don't realize that hormone issues, whether it's thyroid, Hashimoto's, hypothyroid, and then sex hormone issues like estrogen, progesterone, these imbalances, testosterone, can actually even lead to cancers. Let me know in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Does this sound familiar? You're exhausted no matter how much you sleep. Tell me in the chat if you wake up tired. Okay, I got a lot of people that wake up tired. You have brain fog and forgetfulness. You can't remember a word. Like mid-sentence, you forgot what someone asked you. Can't remember someone's name. Okay, I see Carolyn had breast cancer. Okay, Taylor saying wake up tired. Bonnie said all the time. Stacey said every day for me. Okay, I see the private chat. Clara mentioning some things. You've tried everything, never had an issue before the total hysterectomy menopause. Yes, these are things we see. Okay, Clara saying yes and yes, double joint replace. Yep, you're 66, feel like you're 90. Who else feels way older than they are? Okay, and you're told it's just aging. You're told your labs are normal. You're told this is normal. Okay, Joint pain, we saw people with leg aches and pains, bloating. Talked about a lot of people here are feeling like they look pregnant. Hormonal swings, you're moody. You don't know why you're so moody. And you're gaining weight despite eating healthy. Okay, let's talk about normal labs. Who determines that the labs are normal? Who do you guys think? Take a guess. Okay, Taylor knows what I'm talking about, PMDD. In case you don't know what that is, it's premenstrual depressive disorder, where there are people who get very anxious and they don't even realize it before their period, or depressed or irritable, or all the above. Your hormones, the brain has receptors, so you may not have that, or you may not get a period, but believe it or not, your brain has receptors for estrogen and progesterone, which are natural anxiolytics and antidepressants. And if these things are off in women and or men, it can really affect your brain fog, your happiness, your ability to sleep, so much. Okay. So normal labs, I didn't see someone answer. Let's see in the private chat. We have a couple more messages coming in. Okay. I didn't see it, but I'm going to tell you this. Who determines normal? Sometimes we get people in healthcare. Let me know if you're in healthcare in the chat. You might relate to this. And we get people that work in laboratories. Normal is actually determined by big pharma. They average people in your area, and then they spit out the average. What's the problem with that? What do you guys think? Is the average person in your area optimally healthy? No, right? So let me give you a great example. When I was in high school, all my friends started drinking, doing drugs, having sex, and my dad's like, we're not doing that. And I'm like, Dad, but it's normal for my age. Just because it's normal for your age, my father said, doesn't mean we're doing it. It's not normal in my household. Okay, so I'm going to tell all of you, just because your labs say you're normal, that does not mean that you're normal, you're optimal for your age. Just because everyone around you in that age group is like taking drugs, getting belly fat. When I say drugs and medications, they're the legal drug dealers, right? It doesn't mean it's okay. The skin of the surface lab work will spit out that you're normal, but that doesn't mean you're actually optimal. Let me know in the chat if that makes sense. Oh, Dr. Nancy, that's why when I go to the doctor, they say I'm normal, but I don't feel normal. I feel terrible, yet they're telling me I'm fine. Tell me if that's you in the chat. They say you're fine, but you don't feel fine. Okay, I want to know, because that's the thing we see all the time. Yep, Taylor says, great. So now you're in the right place. This is what we see every day. Okay, this webinar is for you if you're struggling with things like fatigue, weight gain, gut problems, hormone, autoimmune issues, inflammation. Okay, you've tried prescriptions, diets, quick fixes, and none of them are really working. Okay, some of you wrote, I saw in the chat that the PCOS, like they gave you the pill, yet still have the chin hair. That was me as well, which is really embarrassing, by the way. I got made fun of. I called a monkey. I was told I was pregnant. Very, very embarrassing. Okay. I also had a lot of gut issues. Talked about looking like I was pregnant. I could only go to the bathroom once a week. Is that normal to have a bowel movement once a week? No. But guess what? I went to all these gastros and they're like, yeah, we did a colonoscopy, endoscopy. Everything looks good. Everything's normal. Just take some Miralax. No, we're not masking symptoms, people. We're here to get to the root cause. If you're confused and overwhelmed, you really want answers and a lasting solution, not just take this for the rest of your life, you're in the right place. I promise you, by the time this webinar is over the next hour, you're going to understand why your symptoms have persisted despite doing everything right. You're going to learn the 3 biggest myths in healthcare that most conventional providers, they don't tell you, and they don't even know themselves. We're going to go through that. We're going to walk away today with a clear next step towards how do we get to healing the root cause of our health problems and reclaiming our life. Okay. And we're going to learn about how other people have transformed their health in as little as 90 days using the holistic hormone reset method that we've developed. Okay. We're going to cover today America's healthcare crisis, stress hormones, health, and why conventional solutions fail, how we can reverse the symptoms by getting to the root cause, and really the 5 steps that we take to reset the body naturally, specifically our hormones holistically. Okay. And we're going to also go over how you can start to transform your health in as little as 2 weeks. Okay. Stay to the end because you're going to get an option to book a free 15-minute consult with our team in the next day or 2. And that will lead to an evaluation with one of our providers. It's an hour-long evaluation. It's normally $287, but by seeing this webinar, we take $200 off. So it's just $87 for that evaluation if you book the free call, okay, at the end. Who feels like this lady? I just talked about it, but your labs say you're normal, but you don't feel normal. Okay. And then you ask your doctor questions about it, and your doctor wants to rip off your head because you asked a question, right? This is what's very standard. And this is when doctors intervene when it's an emergency, and pills for every ill. Okay. Tell me in the chat, how many medications do you think the average American is on? As you're telling me in the chat, let's see who gets it right. My sister was put on multiple medications at 13. Now, what's relevant about 13? You go through puberty, right? No one looks at hormones. Why don't doctors learn about hormones? Why don't they test our hormones? Why don't they properly test our hormones? Why don't they naturally treat our hormones? Okay. Everyone, Taylor, you're right. 4. It's 4 to 6. Bonnie, you're right. Marsha, you're right. At least 3 to 5. Adrian says 4. Michelle says 2. You're on the lower end, Michelle. You're being really nice. The real number is actually between 15 to 20, but those of us that are on less medications bring that average down to 4 to 6. My sister landed in the ER from one of the side effects of the drugs. When she was a little girl, my mom knew something was wrong, but as she got older, you know, things just get worse as we get older, typically, right? They don't get better if we don't find the root cause and fix it. And she's doing well now, thank God, my sister, but this is where we just got so fed up with drugs. The side effects were worse than whatever they were treating. Has that ever happened to any of you guys? Okay. We spend more money than any other country on healthcare, 90% on managing chronic sick conditions, yet we get the worst outcomes. We spend the most, yet account for 70% of pharmaceutical dollars, and we get the worst outcomes. It's really like disease management. Tell me in the chat, have you been like our practice members where your health issues impact your ability to work or focus at work or get that promotion or start that business or go out with friends or keep up with little ones? Tell me if that's you. Janine was like that. She was told it was normal because she was getting brain fog, joint pain, belly fat as she got older in her 40s. She had cysts in her breasts, PCOS, and doctors were like, yeah, you just have it. We'll monitor it. Here's the birth control pill. Have a nice day. She then got breast cancer. We worked with her because her oncologist referred her to us because she's like, all I can give you is an estrogen blocker. Here's birth control pills. Here's now an estrogen blocker. It's just a medication that masks the symptoms, doesn't get to the root cause. We worked with her and she said, I felt like I was 90 years old when I was going through cancer and after cancer. I worked with you guys and now I'm the healthiest I've ever been because you figured out what caused my cancer. The doctors kill off, cut out, block cancers, right, with these things, but you guys figured out what caused it. So it doesn't come back and I have peace of mind. She's feeling great. We look under the hood. We don't scratch our head like, oh, why did the engine seize? And we didn't get oil changes because the doctors ignore the check engine light, right? We ignore the check engine light. Okay, we look under the hood. So let's look under the hood. Tell me which one of these you have. Sleep trouble, fatigue, memory, digestion, hormones, belly fat, stress or anxiety, inflammation. Brenda said the fatigue is horrible. Yep. Sinclair said all the above. Okay, everyone's saying here all the above. Used to be all, Marsha's saying. Okay, so let's go through these one by one. Bowel difficulty. One major sign that the body is having a problem, that it's off, and we need to come in and fix it, is that the bowels are not working correctly. You're going too many times a day or not going enough. Bloating, gas, constipation. Other signs you may not think of are tired, depression, brain fog, anxiety. All these things are actually controlled by the bowel as well. So you may think, no, my bowel's fine, but I have all this anxiety or I'm tired all the time. Okay, that's actually a sign that the gut is somewhere we need to go look. Okay, we want to look at how the gut's the mini brain. So if there's ADD, ADHD, anything related to brain health, we want to look there. I'm tired. Jean was someone that was told she had early onset dementia. We worked with her because her doctor said to come to us. And she got off her medications and started to have really good memory where she could drive again, keep up in conversations with her family. And this is important. We don't want to feel like we're losing our mind. Okay. And hormones and gut health play a really big role in both. So does xenohormones. Tell me in the chat if you know what xenohormones are. Most people are like, what's that? Xenohormones. Tell me if you've heard of that. Cinquetta said, I have really bad GI issues since I was a child. Okay, so everyone's saying no, they don't know xenohormones. Most people don't know, so I like to teach you. Those are certain toxins that can disrupt your hormones. They can also cause things like dementia, cancers, so we need to find that. Okay, xenohormones, yes, Marcia said. Terrible depression and anxiety. Okay, insomnia. Tell me in the chat, if you're not sleeping well, maybe you can't fall asleep, or maybe you fall asleep, you can't stay asleep, or you get up to go to the bathroom. You're like, oh, I sleep fine. Isn't getting up to go to the bathroom normal? No, actually it's not. You should be dreaming every night and sleeping between 7 to 9 hours uninterrupted. Okay. There are ancestors of ours that slept 12 hours a night before electricity. Okay. Taylor said can't stay asleep and trouble falling asleep. Okay. So there's definitely something going on there. Okay. So we want to do a deeper dive and figure out what's causing this, not just give you a pill. Does giving you a sleeping pill mask the symptom or get to the root cause? Tell me what you think in the chat. Okay. Mood swings, being emotional, weight gain. This was Nancy. So I know I'm Dr. Nancy. Here's my practice member, Nancy. She lives across the country. She had gut issues, 50 pounds overweight, sat all day, had blood pressure pills. They said, if you lose weight, you'll come off your blood pressure pills. Well, guess what? She lost weight on the GLP medicines and still had to take blood pressure pills. Not shocked. And then, of course, when she came off the GLP, she had worse stomach issues, by the way. And she had gained all the weight back. So that wasn't fun. She also got cancer twice. So no one looked at her hormones. Part of why a lot of people can't lose weight is hormones. And if you're like, oh, I'm on hormone drugs, tell me on the chat if you're on hormone medication. You call it bioidentical HRT. If you're on them, it's another thing. Nope. Okay. Most people don't, Adrienne, by the way. Yes, Erin. No, most people do not. Okay. And we have Lena on them. We're not judging. Some people need medication. Okay. We have some people on, most people are not. Most people that come to us want to fix their hormones actually holistically, not through medication. If you are on medication, whether it's bioidentical, a patch, a vaginal insert, pellets, we still work with cases like that because those people need to spend, in case we're not going to make Lena say it, but everyone I work with on these medications, they're spending between $200 to $400 or more per month for the rest of their life. Or for 10 years, that's like $20,000 to $40,000, sometimes $50,000 over a 10-year period. They think the $200 a month, they don't add it up. But it's not just the money, it's that some of these medications, you get used to them and then they stop working. The other problem with it is that usually the doctors putting you on them don't test your hormones at all, or they test you through blood work. They don't do the proper testing, and then you're not even dosed properly. So we're not against it. If you are choosing to do it, we'll work with you to make sure you're dosed properly and help you learn a true holistic way, so you don't have to keep paying for these for the rest of your life. Okay. Nancy's 70, she feels like she's 50. So instead of feeling like this, like big and stuck and like sinking, we want to make sure that estrogen cream does count, and history of blood clot, and have been told not good to take HRT. That's right, Sherry. Also cancer. I'm just going to shoot you all straight tonight, tell you straight up. We have doctors that'll prescribe HRT and they'll be like, it doesn't cause cancer. And then when they get cancer, they'll say the HRT, the patch, the cream, the vaginal thing, the pellets, it didn't cause cancer, but it's contraindicated. You can't take it now. Okay, so you're going to tell me it didn't cause cancer, but it's contraindicated and I can't take it now. What are we not saying? So we're not saying, oh my gosh, if you take it, you're going to get cancer. Because there's people who don't. It's like smoking. Oh, my grandfather smoked. He didn't get cancer. Okay. That's like, why do we want to play with fire? So if you are taking it, we're not going to make you stop. If you love it, we're not against it. But we can do it naturally without that. And then you don't have to keep paying for that for the rest of your life. Okay. And if you're not doing that, awesome. And we can truly do it holistically. So instead of getting like wrong and lacking information, let's get the truth. Let's not do the sick care model where there's a lot of money in big pharma. Let's actually look at things like COVID that kind of revealed, who's pulling the strings here with stuff, and get to the root cause, not just offer a pill to mask every ill, but figure out what's going on below the surface. So you do have control of your health. We can't stop aging, but we can really be proactive, do an in-depth evaluation, figure out what specific foods, fitness, supplements we need to get those hormones, those gut issues, those aches and pains balanced naturally, that mood, that sleep, really calm down autoimmune markers. We always see Hashimoto's markers calm down, lupus markers, RA, ANA markers come down, and your symptoms are feeling better because we're getting to the root cause. Most autoimmune conditions, MS, Hashimoto's, RA, lupus, colitis, happen in women. Okay, men get them too, but certain men, their hormones get converted to estrogen instead of to the testosterone, and we're seeing much more in women, okay, in particularly hormonal parts of their life, like perimenopause, after childbirth, menopause. It's usually around 40 is the average age that a woman's diagnosed with an autoimmune issue, and it's very linked to the premenopause. We have to get that balance to help turn those things around, okay? This is the approach we take. We do an evaluation first, and then we create a specific detox, nutrition, fitness, stress hormone, mentorship plan for you. This is our 5-step system we use, no matter what condition you have, okay? While we're talking about the holistic hormone reset, we do work with men, we work with kids, and we really get to the root cause. But this is just one major system and approach we use. The first step is figuring out, how did we get here? We do an evaluation like we did with Patrice, who's a biochemist, and figured out why she was so exhausted. Why did she get cancer twice? They got it all, and then it came back, which actually happens in 50 to 75% of cases. But when we work with people, we usually get the risk of recurrence down to less than 5%. Okay. And we haven't seen recurrences because we get to the root cause of what caused the cancer. Okay. She's getting her life back. She's on her second marriage because the first guy was like, you're tired, you have no libido, joint pain. It wasn't enjoyable. This guy, she's having fun with her new husband, keeping up with her grandkids. So we got to do an evaluation like we did with Patrice to figure out what's missing. Where didn't your doctors look? Let me know in the chat if you're a parent. And you know what I mean when I say your kid tells you they looked everywhere and they tried everything and they can't find it, and then you find it. Tell me on the chat if you know what I'm talking about, okay? That's exactly what we do. When you and your doctors feel like you looked everywhere, tried everything, we come in and find the root cause. Why do we find the root cause? If you're a mom or a dad, you know what I'm talking about? Because we know where to look and we don't stop till we find it, okay? Most doctors are taught to not test hormones, not look at your gut health, not look at what's off causing this, the xenohormones, the xenobiotics. They're not taught to look at toxins, food additives, side effects, stress. They're not taught hormones. 94% of doctors are not, okay? And insurance won't cover this proper testing. Why? Because it doesn't link to a pill or procedure, and the big pharma doctors are all in cahoots, okay? We need to figure out if it's not a hormone off, maybe it's a xenohormone or a xenobiotic. Maybe there's not even hormones off, there's Lyme disease or mold or food sensitivity. You may think it's your hormones, then we find out from uncovering that actually your hormones are fine. There's something else causing hormone-like issues. Let's find that and really do a deep dive. We worked with this nurse, Linda, and she said, you need to learn to read your body. Doctors will tell you you're fine. She went to every expert, top hospitals, Johns Hopkins, Cleveland Clinic, and everyone said she's fine and she didn't feel fine. We worked with her husband, Bob. Bob had no health issues. Why do you think he still worked with us? Tell me in the chat, why do you think Bob still worked with us? That's right, Marcia. We look at everything. So Adrienne knows she's a foster parent. So you know that you have to look everywhere, okay? Bob worked with us even though nothing was wrong because he didn't want to wait till something was wrong. That's like your car. Do you wait till your engine seizes to get it serviced, or maybe do you get oil changed because it's preventative? You get oil changes, right? Do you wait for your tire to fall off and you get in an accident for you to get your tires rotated or replaced? Or maybe do you replace tires when they're running low so you don't get a blowout where your tires, fall off? Preventative. He's like, I don't have anything, but you're doing so great with Linda. I'm 70 and I'm on no medication. Let's keep it that way. They said they're 70 and they feel like they're 35 or 40. You really got to listen to your body. Okay. Oh, this was funny. I have a picture of us on a date here. They live in Massachusetts, but they felt so good. They drove to where I am to meet me for dinner because they wanted to thank me for how great they feel. So I was like, oh my gosh. So this is them getting ready for their date because they used to just sit home. When you guys are so tired, you just sit home, you watch TV, you fall asleep on TV. That was them. Then they started going out on dates again. They're like, we're dating again. Good libido, good energy, all that. So regular doctors are taught, what condition do they have? What drugs do they need? Pharma spends billions to make them think that way. And the reason why insurance doesn't cover the deeper dive, the time that we need, the testing, the natural herbal supplements, the organic food, is because Medicare actually writes the book for what other insurance companies will do. And Medicare states that any care that prevents disease, promotes health, and prolongs and enhances the quality of life is not medically necessary and therefore not payable. Tell me in the chat, do you think that this is fair? That health insurance doesn't cover anything that prevents disease, health insurance doesn't cover anything that promotes health and prolongs, enhances the quality of life. Does that make sense? No, I agree with Lena, right? Marcia says you have to be proactive. Yes, Medicare doesn't care about health. And guess what, Marsha? Sherry's like, hell no. Bonnie says no. All the other health insurance companies copy Medicare. So this is why the hour-long evaluation with one of our providers, the 30 to 60 to 100-page panels we run on people, look at their microbiome, their hormone metabolites, their tissue uptake, deficiencies, sensitivities, dysbioses, all these things we look at, xenohormones. They're like, no, that's not necessary. We'll wait till you get cancer, and we'll put $1 million in cancer in your doctor's pocket. We'll pay for that, but we won't pay the pennies on the dollar to prevent cancer or find the cause of your cancer, right? Really? Okay, that's nice. So the sick care model is a really big industry. Copays alone on prescription drugs was $535 billion. Billion with a B, that's just the copay. Oh, my copay, I just talked to someone, my copay is only $20. Okay, $535 billion with a B is what we spent, America only, on our copays. Wow. Okay, 50% increase since 2010. 3 of the biggest myths that we see in healthcare are, oh, it's just aging. Your labs are normal, so you're fine. You just need the right prescription. Let's just try, instead of the Mounjaro, let's try the Ozempic. Instead of the Ozempic, let's try this other GLP. Okay, we don't need to if you're on a GLP, that's fine. We still work with people on GLP. Okay, we still work with people on medications. If you're on some, that's okay. But we're not going to just keep changing drugs like a chemistry experiment. 94% of doctors aren't trained in getting to the root cause or in hormones. And they're not trained on how to properly find and fix the root cause or treat it properly or naturally. If you've been given hormone drugs and no one tested your hormones, that is a red flag. If you've been given hormone drugs and they tested your hormones through blood work, that's a red flag. Hormones through blood work are the most inaccurate reading. And then just masking the hot flashes and the sleep with the hormone, but not knowing where you're at, that is not best practice. The gold standard is that hormones need to be tested through urine, stool, saliva, and then compare that to the blood work. We need to look at tissue uptake, metabolites, interactions. There's over 500 hormones. So just looking at FSH, LH, estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, thyroid, TSH is not enough. That's like 5. It's like 1% of what we need. It's like saying, I make $100,000. Well, if you owe the IRS $200,000 and you're spending $250 a year, $250K, you don't really have enough money. So just looking at your hormones in blood is like saying I have $100,000, not looking at the full picture. Let me know if that makes sense in the chat. Okay. This is what Karen had. Karen was treated, she had PCOS and endometriosis. She was treated with birth control. And then she was treated with a hysterectomy. And then she got breast cancer. Oh, before the hysterectomy, Then she was treated with IVF, her hormone problems. Then she got a hysterectomy. She had breast cancer, and then she was put on estrogen blockers. So all she had was pills and procedures. You follow this, guys? Pills and procedures to mask the problem. We worked with her to actually get to the root of it, and she can keep up with her little granddaughter, Penelope. So she didn't get cancer again. She already had it twice. So she realizes it. Hormone issues don't just cause weight gain, achiness, lack of sleep, and the bloating, all these problems you guys mentioned. They can cause cancer. Okay, we see some people in the chat with that. Are you willing to do something different? Let me know. Tell me in the chat. Marsha said Western medicine doctors only get 1 day of nutrition. Marsha, I agree with you. It's actually an hour or less. Some don't get any, right? Bonnie, it's crazy. Stacy saying yes, right? You used to work for Social Security. Marsha said, nothing about medical is healthy. I agree. So I ask you guys, who depends on you? Who depends on you? Do you have children, grandkids? I know someone said here she's, you said you adopted children, right? Someone said here they're a stepmom. Tell me in the chat, who depends on you? Do you have fur babies, nieces and nephews, friends, a spouse? Who depends on you? Your partner? Carolyn wants to get off the estrogen blockers. We do that all the time with people. Okay, that's something that we can help. Okay, Taylor has animals, children, and a spouse depending on her. So here is my why. Here's my child that I was told I would never have due to an aggressive type of hormonal cancer that would render me infertile. And they said, don't worry, we got it all. But when the cancer comes back, we'll be more aggressive. I was like, did you just say when or if? They're like, no, we said when. And you won't be able to have children. Okay. I worked with then someone who does what I do, found the root cause of the cancer, got rid of the endometriosis, PCOS without the birth control that was just masking the symptom that I was on, did not get the cancer back, and I also got pregnant the first day I tried. Okay. Here's the husband I thought I would never marry because I was a sick girl with cancer in a wheelchair. Here's me teaching my baby to walk after I was told you won't walk again, you have MS. Interesting. Only to find out MS is very common, more so in women than men. But also there's other things linked to MS like glyphosate, Lyme disease, parasites, all these different things. What if we can find those root causes, not just mask the symptoms? Interesting. I ask you, who is your why? Because every day people say, I would die for my children. Okay. Would you do what you need to do to live for your children? Will you do what you need to do so you can be there for your children? Or for yourself? Hey, do it for yourself is your why. I had someone today that says, I don't have any kids, but I thought retirement was going to be the golden years and I'm a full-time patient as my job. I go to doctors every day. Hey, do this for yourself. Because while Medicare and insurances may cover longer quantity of life, we're getting lower quality of life, which you are worthy of feeling good. Okay. We got to break through the terror barrier and let's go through our 5-part system. So we call it the holistic hormone reset because it's a proven system that's 100% natural, whole person healing. It's focused on getting to the root cause to not just mask symptoms. We take each person through an evaluation to figure out, okay, where do we think the root cause is? We run more in-depth testing in the comfort of your home, and then we take you through these 5 steps. The first one is detoxification. The next one's nutrition, fitness, and managing stress and hormones naturally, and mentorship. I promise that we will get to the root cause of your hormone dysfunction and help you to feel noticeably better in as little as 2 weeks. Someone last week broke that record, actually. We take our data on every practice member. We had someone in 4 days start to feel noticeably better from working with us without prescriptions or medications. Now, that doesn't mean you're just going to stop your drugs tomorrow, but without using prescriptions or medications, we're going to naturally help you to start feeling better in as little as 4 days to 2 weeks. In as little as 6 months, I promise that as long as you do your part, and we're not going to make you do anything crazy or extreme or that's too hard or not sustainable, no extreme diets, no extreme detoxes, you're going to feel a total transformation that really lasts, that's sustainable, that's a lifestyle, and you're going to have the knowledge to sustain these things so you don't need us anymore. Okay, I've been told we have the worst business model ever because we do not create repeat customers. That's the opposite goal of pharma. They want you to keep coming back for more and more as you get older. We want you needing us less and less. Okay, we get referrals. That's how we reach more people. I promise you that you'll be fully educated by the end of the time we're working with you and understand how your body works. You're going to understand why your hormones are out of balance and how to restore them naturally. No more guesswork, just clear science-backed answers. I promise you'll have the knowledge to decode your body's signals, understand what's happening beneath the surface, and how to keep things balanced for good. I promise that you'll get ahead of early warning signs for deeper health issues before they become serious, like diabetes, cancer, blood pressure, cholesterol, autoimmune conditions, chronic pain, inflammation, okay? So you can have a vibrant life, okay? The first step that we do with each person is a detox. This is where you move to the nearest desert for 40 days and drink water only. Nah, I'm just kidding. I just need for paying attention because we're about 45 minutes in, so I just like to throw a little joke in there. This is where we're going to use the right nutrition. So little changes each week, nothing crazy or extreme, to really help the immune system, the gut, the hormones start to get balanced naturally. We use the right foods, the right fitness to bump your energy up, fix those hormone problems naturally, and really customize a food plan that works for you, your lifestyle. You'll still eat out, you'll have more energy, you'll still do Taco Tuesday, you can still have fun around the holidays, you can still enjoy all of that, but we're going to have a lifestyle that lasts. Do you guys think that people that are healthy just stop doing what they do, like on their birthday or on a vacation or on a holiday? Or do you think they still have fun in moderation, but do some variation of what keeps them healthy? What do you guys think? Tell me in the chat. People that are healthy, people that have the health you want. Okay. So we want to tell you that you're going to be able to have fun. It's your birthday. It's a holiday. It's a trip. That's fine. Enjoy yourself. But people that are optimally healthy, they have a lifestyle that they can sustain, not a crash diet. Okay. Even the detox is not some strict thing. It's like, let's just each week, when we say detox, let's find the root cause and solely remove that with the right foods, the right fitness, the right supplements. We're going to make sure that you're moving in a way that supports you, not depletes you. Whoever tried to do what I did and work out twice a day and just feel like I was getting injured and more tired and I was too tired to work out? Anyone feel like that? We're going to make sure that your fitness is not anything extreme, but is something that works for you. Now, if you are an extreme athlete, that's a different story. We can customize a plan to your level, but we need to meet you wherever you're at. We're going to make sure that your hormones are balanced truly, naturally. Things that are called bioidentical or just a cream or it's just a patch or it's this, those are still a medication. Okay. We're not saying we're against it if you're on it, but you may be on it and then still be on this webinar and say, I feel better, but I don't still feel my best. And I still have all these other health issues. You're in the right place. We'll actually understand the adrenals, the cortisol, the 500 different hormones to see where you hold your body and make sure that you're losing that weight, feeling good, and correcting this. Look at this picture. Tell me based on this picture where you guys hold your weight in the chat. Okay, great. Taylor was saying how she's a super busy life. How can we incorporate this into my life with all my, quote, free time? Absolutely. Everyone that we work with is extremely busy. One person we work with works 3 jobs, has 5 kids, and oh my gosh, so busy. Another person's a very busy entrepreneur, multiple businesses. You're going to still eat, Taylor. Is that right? Even on your busiest days where you have no free time, you're going to still eat. Is that right? You're going to still eat. If you're too tired, you're in too much pain, your body hurts, you're going to still eat, right? So we're going to start with things that you're already doing. And then as you get more energy, you have more free time. Okay. When you have more energy, you can get more done. And then you have, quote, more free time, right? Or more energy to have a libido, exercise, get more done. Okay. So we see a lot of people saying here, thyroid everywhere, liver. We'll do more in-depth lab work than just these skim of the surface, cheap $10 tests that insurance covers to actually do proper hormone testing, gut testing, xenohormone testing to figure out what's going on and why you're carrying your body weight where you are to figure out how to fix it. We really want to incorporate mentoring because Ginny, for example, was a nurse. Let me know, is anyone else here in healthcare? I'm sorry if I missed it in the chat. The chat's like really busy and I want to make sure to miss it. She's really knowledgeable, but she still had fibromyalgia. She was 50 pounds overweight on disability, only making $800 a month as a single mom with 2 kids, talking about some problems. We worked with her just like we do with everyone else, where we find the root cause. No doctor was finding it. Walked her through how to fix it, worked with her limited budget. So we do that. Money's never the reason you can't get the help you need. We know insurance doesn't cover this. They cover partially, they don't cover fully pills and procedures, but we'll work with you and work with your budget. Really to help you and make sure you get results like everyone else. Okay. We need a mentor. You wouldn't fly a plane without a mentor. So don't just try to DIY your health. Because like, what if you mess up? Well, the plane could crash. What if you mess up with your health? Okay. Some of us are 20. We think we're invincible. Some of us are not 20 and we realize, okay, we're getting a little older. We either can't figure it out on our own because we haven't yet, or it's a little risky, right? Let's not mess up. Let's get a mentor. Okay. So our programs are all inclusive. It includes all of these 5 steps. Other than the physical food you're going to eat, whether you eat out or home, everything you need will be included in your plan. So there's no surprises. Most people we work with are on some type of a fixed income or Social Security or disability or single working parent. They're on a budget, so we're very upfront with you. We know insurance doesn't cover this, but we know that we need it, so we'll fit it into the budget. If you have a cell phone, let me know in the chat. If you have Wi-Fi, let me know in the chat. Anyone else have a car payment? Let me know in the chat. Okay, as you're putting that in the chat, if you have these modern things that we consider necessities, what about your health? Is your health a necessity? Yes. Okay, so if your health's a necessity, we can fit this into your budget and it could be similar to your Wi-Fi or your cell phone payment, okay? If your health is just as important as your Wi-Fi or your cell phone or your car, heaven forbid, depending on how fancy your car is, we can find a way to fit this into the budget if it's a necessity. If you find that you have to see if you have anything left over, you'll find an excuse because it's not a necessity. There's never money left over. For most of us, there's not money left over. Most people live paycheck to paycheck that we work with. So if your health is a necessity, we'll find a way. If it's not, we'll find an excuse. We'll have a systematic approach to make sure you feel this good and everyone's worthy of feeling good. Everything's natural, not pharmaceutical. Okay. We treat the whole person and we really actually care. I know what it's like to be ignored, not listened to, brushed off, and not get results. In as little as 2 weeks, you can start to see a difference and really maintain a sustainable plan that's going to help you continue to get results for life. Okay. So can we change the future of our health? Yeah, we can order the right tests, find the root cause, and really treat the body as a whole, not mask the symptoms, but teach you how to not go more surviving downhill, but thriving. Okay, sinking to sailing. So we can take a hard crisis, turn it into an opportunity, and I can tell you and show you, but the only way you really know is to involve you, is how you're going to understand. You can't learn a bike without getting on, how to ride a bike without getting on. You got to get on. So you got to do something, and I can't do it for you. Newsflash, in case you thought you were a cat, you're not. You don't have 9 lives. You're a human. Stop procrastinating. Not for me, but for you. Another person that's a good example of not procrastinate is Robin. She was a physician assistant, OBGYN. She had hormone issues, was on birth control, then an IUD. Hormones affect diabetes. In case you didn't know this, hormones can disrupt your insulin. Hormones are also linked to causing autoimmune issues like her MS. She had brain fog and exhaustion so bad, she documented in the wrong chart. She got fired because she would fall asleep at work and make mistakes and sleep through her lunch break, not eat. That's not good for a diabetic. She lost her job because she would make mistakes because she was so tired. Okay. She's worked with us. She lost 40 pounds. Her husband and kids said, "Thank you for giving me my mom back." Her daughter Gracie said, "My mom was like a zombie, and my dad and her were like ships passing in the night." She came off 32 medications. She said, "Don't wait till you're that bad." Okay, so I'm just going to let Robin tell you that. Don't wait till the hormone issues turn into hormonal cancer like I and Robin see every day. Don't wait till you're as bad as I was, where I had cancer and MS as well. You're going to leave your health to chance, roll the dice, hope for the best, or are you going to step forward now and make a change? Can I help everybody? What do you guys think? Look at this picture. Do you think I can help this person? Yes, Althea says true. I can't help you unless you want to help yourself. I can guarantee, people want to know my money back guarantee. I can guarantee if you don't do anything, I can guarantee nothing will happen. Stay where you are or get worse, which is typically what happens as we age. Do we typically just get better as we age if we don't change something? No. So next step. We're going to book a free 15-minute consultation. Let me go ahead and put that out for you guys. Give me a moment. Great. Okay, I'm going to start that now. Just give me a moment. Okay, so for the next 5 minutes, you'll be able to book a free 15-minute consult, and then the offer goes away. Go ahead and click that right now. Now, I'm keeping an eye on this, so is my team. We do sometimes run out of spots. Don't worry. We will open more spots. Text us or email us, message us. We'll open up another spot for you, but the spots are limited. If you take a free 15-minute consult with us, show up. There are people that want a consult and they're not going to get one, and you took one, you didn't show. I'm paying a staff member to show up for you at that time, so make sure you show up. The consult is free to hear what you're going through, what you've tried that hasn't worked, if we can help. If we can't help you, we'll tell you that for free. Okay, and we won't let you even book the $87 consult with us. The $87 evaluation. The evaluation after this consult, it leads to a evaluation with one of our providers. It's an hour long. It's usually $287, but it's $200 off when you book the free consult now. You guys are pre-educated, saves us effort in the evaluation. We can just dive right in. Okay, so book that free consult now. The spots are filling up, and that leads to then the evaluation. People are like, well, then what happens after that? We're going to form a plan after that. That's about you. And also something that fits into your budget. Is that fair? Yes. Okay, so book that free consult. Let's have you not end up here, but end up on our schedule. If you see there's no times available, click on the select a time section at the bottom and just see if another day has an option. And then if there's really no options left, I can promise you we'll open up a couple more because they do fill very quickly. So go ahead and book that right now. And then you're going to put your phone number in twice. If you don't get a spot, just drop us a text or an email. We'll promise to get back to you and get you in. The frequently asked questions I get are, I have a partner. Okay. If you have a partner, they can also get evaluated for just 47. Okay. So instead of 87, if you have children or a partner, we work with a lot of couples and families, you can add them on for just 47. If you don't want to add them on or don't know if they want to also get evaluated, that's okay. We still want your partner at your evaluation because there's going to be an investment of time. You guys share meals together, and there's going to be an investment of money, and we don't know what we're looking at. You could just need a simple oil change. You could need a whole new car. But I can promise you that we'll make sure we work with you guys and you and your partner's budget. Okay, out of respect, just that first visit. We know partners work, we get it. If you live with someone, you make decisions with them, unless you make your own decisions and you don't want to consult with them at all, have them there. Okay, just that first visit. They don't need to be at your free 15-minute consult, but at your evaluation, just that evaluation, we want them there. The other question I get often is, does insurance cover this? What do you guys think in the chat? Yes. Insurance does not cover it. Right. Althea is saying no. Okay. What do they cover? Pills and procedures. And they don't even cover all of it. So if we work with Ginny, who makes $800 a month on disability, we can work with you. Okay. If it's a priority, just like Marcia said, yep, I have phone, no Wi-Fi, car payment, loans. Where does your health fall on the list of necessities? We have rent, mortgage, car payment, loans. Like, what about our health? Okay, we'll form a way to fit it in your budget. We can promise that. Money is not the reason you can't get the help you need. If it's a priority, we'll find a way. If it's not, we'll find an excuse for sure. Resourcefulness is the ultimate resource. We'll find a way. We can promise. The program will be all inclusive, so there won't be anything that's a surprise bill. We can do this through the comfort of your home. So as long as you have a phone or iPad or computer, we can do this in the comfort of your home. We have a national mobile phlebotomy service. They can come to you wherever you are to do your lab work in the comfort of your home, and then we'll read the results over Zoom. If you've tried other things, you have the right to be skeptical. What if this doesn't work? Okay. What I can guarantee is if you don't do the work, I can guarantee this won't work. Also, if you don't believe this will work, I can also guarantee this will not work. But as long as you're not in one of those two categories, this will work. It works every time. We've done it with thousands of people. I can guarantee if you do your part, I've never seen someone not get results. Now, you could be skeptical and say, oh, no, I still don't believe you. That's fine. I'm not going to convince you. Just stay where you are and keep doing what you're doing. How's that working out for you? Is quitting really an option? No. I say that with love. I'm not trying to be cheeky. I love you guys. I care about you. I know we can help. Book that free consult. If we can't help you, I'll tell you that. We will tell you before you pay for an evaluation. Is that fair? Okay. Try it, because if you've tried other things, you haven't tried this yet. What if it does work? What if instead of leaving it to chance, hoping you figure it out, hoping you do more research, hoping you try another doctor that lets you down, what if you do something that actually does make a change? Instead of gambling, you do something that surefire works every time. Okay. You can end up like me and my sister and all these people that are thriving, not just more surviving. Thank you guys. I know the spots are filling up. Oh goodness, Marcia. So Marcia and no, I'm not. Bonnie's asking about another webinar. I'm not doing that one. Marcia said there's no spots through December. I just want to apologize. This does happen because we fill up really quick. So the spots actually probably filled up already. But what I will do, okay, we see some people book. They said they booked. Adrian booked. What we will do, Marcia, is I'll let my team know to open up more spots. Just give us a day, okay? Because they're all not working right now, and I'll make sure they reach out to you, and you'll get a drop us a text actually, because this webinar is going to go away now. Text us, Marcia. You know where you got the email link to join this, or the text link to join us? Either email or text us, and my team will then open more spots for you. Okay. Will you email? Yeah, if you email us, Althea, like we emailed you the link and we also texted you guys the link for today. If you email or text us, Althea didn't get a spot either. Okay, just drop us a text or an email, either one. Okay, where you got the link to join this, you got an email reminding you with the link, and then some people got a text. Either of those, you can respond and say you didn't get a spot, and we'll make sure we hook you guys up. Okay, all right, thank you guys. God bless. Have a great night. Can't wait to see you guys soon. Bye.